Hello people, I am Sky Demolisher and welcome back for another From the Collection Fridays, a series where I take things from my collection and show it to you, my viewers. And this week it is my McFarlane Batman the Classic TV Series Batman. So, you finally get to see the man, the myth, the legend, the Dark Knight. Although I think back then he really wasn't referred to as a Dark Knight, and God, that show, like, have not seen it in ages, but that show, is so not dark. It's so not, like, you know, the brutal that we would later get with, like, Burton and stuff. But it was a show that I grew up seeing. Now, all around, I think this figure is quite cool. The same criticism is going to be levelled at all the figures. They do not have like mass articulation at the hips. Like the upper body stuff, pretty good. The lower legs, pretty good. But the hip parts, not so much. But at the same time, also kind of fits with that era because, you know, like you had figures back then were definitely the 5 points of articulation thing. This certainly has the appearance like that, but with the extra articulation in other areas, it's just unfortunate that it's not in the top of the leagues like you would get with like a Marvel Legends and stuff. But these weren't priced at the same price as a Marvel Legends, so I'll just pull that out a bit. I think one of the criticisms I have heard from people is that Batman and Robin's capes haven't been cut properly down the bottom. Honestly, I don't remember the show for its capes and stuff, so, you know, it doesn't really bother me. But I think the cape is very nice. It's really good to have a material cape. I'll just say that. Like, I realise that they're probably not going to last a hell of a long time and, you know, so much easier to stain and blah, blah, blah. But those really hard capes that you get with virtually every figure are so frustrating because they are so restricting in what you can do with them. Like, you know, if you're trying to put them in vehicles, those hard capes create a hard spot or they start pushing the figure back out of the vehicles and it's really annoying. Of course, I think now, like the Spin Master stuff, I'm pretty sure have gone to the material capes where required. So you can see what he looks like there from the spins around. Bring him up close. Really, really nicely sculpted face. Articulation, he has probably got the ability to do the full 360. There is a slight bit of up and down, but not very much. I won't force him to do a full exorcist. Unfortunately on my one, the bat symbol is slightly off center and kind of skewed, but in saying that, it doesn't really bother me because the suit back then was like spandex and stuff, wasn't it? So like there was always the possibility it was going to move. The articulation thing that most annoying is here, the fact that you don't have the out part that you would normally get for a figure of this size. But, you know, nicely sculpted boots, and I do mean nicely sculpted. They look like real boots. Like they've got the creasing and everything. Knees, so you can see the kind of knee. Now this knee is actually very smooth. You probably saw with the Robin last week. Robin's ones have like, you know, teeth grooves. Very visible teeth grooves. Batman's do not. They're very smooth. But, you know, nice. You can see the puns. I've got to say, the arms are very cool, but are also very, very tight. So you do get like the full spin. You can see what kind of joint it is there. Sort of thing, you can pull it back out. Nicely sculpted muscles for his arms. Rotation at the wrist, like it is actual the wrist here. And then in the forearm. But you probably can't get it too far because if I move that out of the way, you can sort of see how it doesn't really line up. And then you've got the elbow bend. All of these figures will have that. I don't think, oh no, actually I think there's a slight bit of hip rotation, but very, very tight. Really nicely sculpted belt. A little bit of paint on the back, but you can't see it under the cape. One hand is always moulded with, like, you know, the ability to hold things, the other is a fist. Very much like Marvel did. Actually, I think Marvel and DC both had that gimmick on their figures for a while. So you would get one hand that could hold things and one hand that was always a fist. Which is kind of frustrating, but also kind of understanding. These guys don't actually come with, like, weapons or anything like that. So you're not getting like a grapple gun or, you know, shark repellent spray or any of those kind of gadgets. You do get the speech clouds. Now, I don't have any of them on me because, well, I don't want to lose them. And also because I don't really need them. You know what I mean? Like, they're a cool thing, and they definitely tie in with, like, the theme of the show. But, yeah. Unless I've got them fighting somebody, I don't really need, like, the wham and the thock and the other speech bubble things that came, you know, particularly in their opening, you know, the opening scene thing, you know, the theme opening thing of it. Can't remember the word, you know what I mean, in that. So, you know, all around, very cool figure. I think, you know, like, other than the little bit of a paint skew there, but like I said, okay. The only thing I would criticise it on is just the, you know, the crotch articulation sort of thing, you know. It's handy to have figures that have that extra bit of movement at the hips. But all around, pretty cool figure. I hope you've enjoyed this, and until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.